no, you do not need to adjust your TV set. The video was supposed to look like this. I did this on purpose. And yes, if you need to crank up your volume a little bit, please do. I was gonna do this. I was doing this on Instagram Live, but I realized that, nobody's on right now, and anybody who is on is at a party that I really wish that I could have gone to. But, as you can see in the title, I'm very sick right now, so I'm just at home by myself. Just, you know, hopped up on NyQuil and cannabis, ranting to myself. And I was going to do that on Instagram and live stream, but nobody's on right now. So I was starting to have some thoughts here. And I was like, yeah, okay, I'm just gonna fill this. Move closer to the thing here. I'm gonna be getting a, what the hell is it? One of those little lapel, you know, pin mics pretty soon, so I can be more audible. But for now, I apologize for any coughing. Crank up the volume if you cannot hear me. So I'm gonna be just kind of briefly talking, or just ranting, stoned in this video about something. And yeah, you don't have to listen to this video if you're just looking for cannabis reviews. Feel free to skip this one over. But hang on, I losing steam. I had the steam going earlier when I started live streaming, and now it's fading. I know it's just because I'm very sick and not feeling well, so I'm trying to keep my brain going right now. Oh, this is probably going to be an odd video because I'm very NyQuil and cannabis out right now, but for some reason, instead of that stuff making me go to sleep, I'm like, oh, I'm wide awake, la la la, pee pee poo poo. I'm so sad I missed out on this party tonight, because, like, Halloween falls on a Thursday this year, so everyone's doing their party stuff this weekend. If they can't do it the next week, it'll be after Halloween. And there's a big party tonight. My friends are there. My drag father's there, and I really wanted to go. But, even if I was able to get myself all, you know, painkillered and NyQuil'd up and stuff like that, I don't want to be infecting anybody else by any chance. So it's like, yeah, you know, even if I was feeling better, I don't want to piss anybody else off. And I didn't end up feeling better. So it's like, you know, I took NyQuil and stuff like that, and it doesn't knock me out. I'm just like, ooh. So I'm just in my apartment by myself. You know, so I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna do a video, just rant about some crap. I was gonna live stream, but most people who would be watching it are at the party right now. I hope they're having a good time. Love you guys. Ew, you don't need to hear that, sorry. I'll be uploading another video soon before I do another cannabis review. It will be my debut performance at Strut, as, you know, doing my career as a drag king. And it didn't go the way that I had hoped. It was okay. I mean, I'm just being really critical. I wish it had gone better, but I have not performed or danced or done anything in like 10 years. And that day I woke up, I did not feel well at all. I was very stiff and very sore. Did not get a chance to really rehearse very much, so I kind of had to just wing it. But for winging it, and for being a crippledy doodah like I am and not performing in a long time, not bad. Not bad. Managed to do all the stuff I wanted to do. The ending part, when I had to kind of get down on my knees and then get down on the floor, that somehow worked. Which, that just is a show of how piece of shit my body is. When I say I got down on my knees, I didn't drop onto them. I sank onto them. Like the distance between my knees and the floor was like 1/4 of an inch. It's not like I went thud. I just very slowly kind of got down on them. I still still, despite that, have a gigantic ass bruise on my left knee, and it hurts so goddamn bad. Like, it feels like it's an impact wound, like I went splat. That's how crappy I am. But, like, I already felt like shit that day, and I was like, I'm gonna wake up sick the next day. And I was like, you know what? I might as well just go do it. I've been preparing for this for a while. I don't want to blow it. I want to do this, and then I can just go home afterwards and be shitty. And that's what happened. You know, I woke up the next day shitty, but it would have happened anyways. I know me. I know me. When you have fibromyalgia, you know every little pain and all that kind of crap. You can feel things. I knew when the cold days were coming before the weather even said anything about it, because I could feel it. I could feel it in my joints. I'm like, oh, it's coming. Random pain. It's like, oh, this storm is coming. Yeah, it's a real thing. We can feel it. I can feel it. Anybody else who's watching this who's got chronic pain, you know what I'm talking about. The days where I am right now are still like 70-something, 80 degrees, but the nights are getting cold. And this week is kind of like the end of the warm weather. Next week it's going to start cooling off, which is cooling off as in going down to like 72, which is stupid. It's Halloween. It's going to be hot, but whatever. I live in California. And, but when it starts to get dark, I can feel it. I can feel it in my joints. I'm like, ooh, gotta start layering up, you know. The kind of thin coats that I've been wearing are being put away in replacement for the warmer coats and my sweaters and the little things that I own that are all lined with, you know, shit to keep me warm, because I get fucking cold. I have to layer up. Other people are like, oh, I'm gonna wear a turtleneck and a jacket. The fuck's wrong with you? How do you do that? I have to have an undershirt on top of that, you know, underneath that, and then a long sleeve shirt, and then my jacket has got to be like one of those like below zero things or whatever, where they got that lining on the inside that keeps the warmth. Because if it was just a regular jacket, it would be cold. That's one of the main things about having fibromyalgia and a lot of other chronic conditions. It's cold sensitivity, which is why even during the summertime here, when it's like 116 degrees, I'm still going into the grocery store with a fucking hoodie on, because it's warm outside, but as soon as I get inside, it's gonna be cold. I'll be shivering in the damn milk department. The milk department? Did I just really call it that? The milk department. The dairy aisle? The milk department? Cool. Those are some words there, the milk department. You know what the fuck I mean. Anyway. Hoo-wee. Fuck. I would never do this, but I'm slightly starting to see now why people do the thing where you put the soda and then you put the NyQuil in there. What the hell is that called? The lean? I always look at that and go, why the fuck would you want to do that? You know, I'm like, what the fuck? That's stupid. Why do you want to do that? And now I'm kind of just like, oh, I kind of get it a little bit. That is not an endorsement, by the way, for anybody listening to this to do drugs. Don't do drugs, kids. Don't do anything that's classified as a drug. And if you live in a crappy state where things like marijuana is classified as a drug, do it. Phew. Well, I don't remember what the hell I was going to talk about now, so we're just going to switch over to, I guess, the subject of the night has been chosen now. The DARE program and anti-marijuana shit. So, I'm old. I'm sure a lot of you listening to that were aware of this, but in case you weren't, I'm old. Not like geezer old, but I'm old. Old enough to have experienced a lot of shit. For those of you listening to this who do not know how old I am almost 37 years old. I feel like this should be like, I am 37 years old. I am divorced, and I live in a van down by the river. Just sad. I am 37 years old. I am divorced, and I do live in an apartment that is close to the river. So, anyway. I grew up in this magical period of time, known as the 1990s. And I don't think that they do this shit in school anymore. I think they've kind of figured it out now. But when I was a kid, and, you know, and beforehand, obviously, but it was really prominent when I was a kid, we had this damn fucking thing called the DARE program. And that, I don't even remember what it stood for. But all it was about was don't do drugs. Specifically marijuana. It was all about don't do drugs, but they kind of just pinpointed marijuana. Maybe they just figured, like, that was just more recognizable. I don't know what the fuck it was, but it was just that. And that was the main focus of it. We had all these stupid fucking ads on TV with people, like, turning into couches and deflating or doing all kinds of dumb shit. I think somebody lit a baby on fire or whatever. And these people would come to the school from the DARE program, and they would give us these little dumbass shirts with this, like, this lion on there. Don't do drugs, fuck! And, this was also going on. They kind of, like, interlaced the don't smoke cigarettes crap in there, too, so it was, like, going on at the same time. And they would give us these little red wristbands, and, like, if you wore them for a week, at the end of it, you get a prize, but, like, the wristbands, and you would make these swear, I will never smoke marijuana, and that's bad. And, you know, drug-free is the way to be, and they used to do this thing at my school, which they did it for, like, 1 year and never again, because people complained. It was called the smoke scream, and all the kids in the school would go out to the field, and they would scream as loud as they could, representing their clean, healthy lungs that were not tarnished by cigarette smoke. And my elementary school had a huge, you know, the field of it surrounded by a fence, which had people's houses around it, and they really didn't like that very much. They had already kind of gotten used to the fact that they lived near a school, like they kind of bought a house there, so they couldn't really complain. But when you've got like 1,000 kids all screaming at once, that's kind of fucked up. And I remember being a kid and hearing this shit and being like, oh, I'm never going to smoke marijuana. That's fucked up. Ooh, it's bad. My, you know, dick's going to fly off or whatever, something like that. And then South Park did an episode about that. But they lied to you. You know, they lied to us as kids, basically acting like, they basically acted like marijuana was heroin, and, and like, sorry, this is because I'm sick, not because I smoke pot. Literally, I'm not making a joke. But they fucking acted like marijuana was heroin. And I remember very distinctly them acting like if you ever do it once, you'll be addicted to it. And then it's going to fuck up your life forever. You know, you're gonna end up on the street. And you're just going to, you know, be a delinquent. You're never going to do anything. You're going to be a lazy butthole. You're going to be stupid. Apparently going to turn into a couch or something like that. I don't know. Even one teacher was talking about, like, if you do it too much, you'll be gay. And I used to think, like, there's no fucking way. And then when I got older, like, I knew other people who heard that same kind of shit. And I'm like, man, they just tried it from every angle. But here's this thing. It was in its way effective because I did not even try marijuana until I was, like, 26. I was afraid. I was like, oh no. If I try, I inject 5 marijuanas into my butthole, I'm gonna become a gay terrorist. You know, that was the thing there. And like, but like I ignored the other shit, like the don't smoke cigarettes crap. I ignored that, you know. When I got into high school, I smoked. It's just, I mean, I'm not surprising. I had a fucking weird life, and it was there. And my mom smoked cigarettes, so I had access to it. She didn't really give a shit. I didn't really like them very much. It kind of helped a little bit. Like I was always just bumming them off of people. And I would find certain ones, I'm like, I kind of fucking like that one. That one sucks. But then other ones, I'm like, oh, that actually kind of helps with the raging anxiety and suicidal feelings I deal with. But it was off and on. You know? If I did, when I was smoking in high school, it was maybe like a couple times a week. You know? So maybe like in a month I would have smoked like 5 cigarettes, you know, so I wasn't like chain smoking. And I did it when I got to college. And then I started taking like some antidepressants when I was in college. And I didn't realize that some antidepressants can be used to kill it with nicotine. I wasn't like addicted or whatever, but I started taking them, and the next day I was smoking, and literally halfway through I was like, I don't want this anymore. And I never smoked again. Cigarettes, it is. Excuse me. Ooh. Damn. Whew. Jesus Christ, my eyes are watery. Apologies. Hearing all this crap right now. So, like, I did that. And I have drank. I really don't like to be perfectly honest. I just have a little familial trauma there, and I'm not really into the feeling of it. But that dare crap with the marijuana, I was like, oh, I don't want my butthole to fall off or some shit. And then when when I started dealing with chronic pain, I tried it for the first time. And it was so effective, I was just like, whoa, okay, maybe I've been wrong. And then when I tried it again for like not pain reasons, just to kind of just get stoned, I was like, whoa, this is awesome. And you can't die from this, and you can't overdose. Yeah, no, you got me, I'm cool. You know, I'm thankful for it because I have a severe pain condition, and I don't know what the fuck I would do about it. But, yeah, I very distinctly remember buttholes coming to my school, doing little fucking dances and shit, talking about not smoking marijuana, because you'll, die. Some of them would even do that. They're, like, naming all the shit that it could do, and they're like, you could even die, and I'm like, what? How? You don't even say how, you just die, like, and you're just, as a kid, oh shit, but then as an adult, you're like, can you, like, follow up on that, please? Anyway. To end this video, fuck the DARE program. Smoke marijuana. The only people I think who shouldn't do it, and this is just something I do agree with, is that if you're younger, be careful. Be careful. You shouldn't do it too heavily when you're, like, young, because your brain is developing, and it does kind of slow that down a little bit. So if you do it a lot when you're younger, it can kind of make your brain develop a little slow. So don't do that. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it, period. Just if you're going to do it, really do it frequently. You know, don't do it constantly. It'll make you a little dumb. That's the end of this video. And, probably not going to do a hell of a lot more like this, because this is just fucking weird. But, yeah. If you enjoyed this, thumbs up. If not, that's cool. Peace.